Hi everyone, and welcome to the next lesson in Goodbye to Guilt. And the next lesson is called Choosing Love Offers Me Freedom from Fear. So what Gerald says about this is that we actually can choose between freedom or bondage, freedom being the love and the bondage being the guilt and fear. So he explains that our ego mind personality does not want us to believe that we can have a choice. It wants to tell you that there is no freedom and there is only fear. So it leads you to believe that fear is normal and healthy. It insists that the external situations in our lives are beyond our control, and when we get caught up in these situations, we have no choice but to experience the fear. So is there a way of choosing the other way? Another way to look at the world is to be aware that love and fear are our choices. We can train our minds to choose one or the other. To do this, we must remind ourselves over and over that it's our belief system and that we have to be responsible for what we see, not the external situations. So we have to literally just not take on things and not worry about things, and just try and keep it in the love and positive light, if that makes sense. A quote from the Course of Miracles is, "What is not love is always fear and nothing else." So if we are not offering love, and sometimes it's easier said than done, when we start worrying if we've upset people, or which is a fear based, because you're frightened that you're going to lose somebody out of your life, and it's like a rejection. But what we have to do is we have to literally think about, people do have busy lives, and we have to just accept that sometimes people will come in our lives and they will go out of our lives when they've done what they need to do. And we just have to accept it and carry on the best we can with our life and moving ourselves forward. Gerald believes that we rationalise. We believe things are different these days to the time in the past when spiritual leaders were dealing with life. Gerald believes they were exactly the same, only their forms were different. He says his commitment to God has certainly not been a steady one, but what he realises is when he commits, his experiences a glorious feeling of wholeness and oneness. That's what he feels. He says his mind felt like it's joined with others, and when he feels angry, he cannot hear the voice of love. Gerald spoke to Mother Teresa and about his plan to learn how to commit to God, and he was kind, and he said he was going to be and she was very kind, sorry, and she said that he was being very harsh on himself. She said, what's important is your intention to devote your life to God, not to actually do the commitment, because the thing is, we are humans and we will have times where we have the guilt and the fear, but it's how quick we come back to the love and the feeling of love. He goes on to say, to feel the peaceful presence of God, we have to take one instant at a time and make that moment only for giving and forgiving. And he says, if I can find it, choosing love offers me freedom from fear. Most of my life, I responded automatically to what other people said or did. Now I recognise that my responses can be determined only by the decisions I make. I claim my freedom by exercising the power of my decision to see people and events with love instead of fear. And the steps for today's lessons is, let me recognise that whatever feeling I experience today, peace or love or some form of fear, anger, depression, etc., are determined by the thoughts I put into my mind. I choose to hold on to only the thoughts I want. Number 2 is remind yourself hourly today that choosing love offers freedom from fear. Be determined to claim your freedom and let thoughts of love replace all your fear. Number 3, when you think things are going wrong in your life today, stop for a moment and say to yourself, it is not other people or events that cause me to be unhappy. I can choose peace instead of this. And number 4 is, since I know that I can be hurt only by my own thoughts, I will resist the temptation today to blame others. Instead, I claim the opportunity to see myself and everyone else as free from guilt and fear. And then number 5 is, review the summary of this lesson at least twice today. Choosing love offers me freedom from fear. I will be putting the visual in my group Transforming Your Life on Facebook, so that you can actually have a good look at it, and print it. You could print it off if you want to print it off. It's quite interesting actually that lesson is very similar to what I actually did in my lives this morning when in my group and actually on my main page in Facebook. So yeah, that's obviously something there what I need to be learning and listening to, with it actually coming up twice in one day. So I hope you are feeling well, and I look forward to doing the next video. And this book is called Goodbye to Guilt by Gerald G Jampolsky. I would really recommend it. It's actually made me think quite a lot about things in my life and has had me clearing quite a bit. So Goodbye to Guilt by Gerald G Jampolsky. Have a good day, guys.